Yo, what's good, man? If you can just give me 5-10 minutes, I'll improve your communication skills. Alright. Now, you might be wondering, how come I got these two by the side, okay? I'll explain to you later in the video. So, if you don't know, research has shows that about 40 to 65% of Gen Zs, they struggle with communicating. And what I mean is because, nowadays, everything is shortened now. From I don't know to IDK, I don't care to ITC, BRB, be right back to BRB. And if you just improve it, by learning how to speak, clearly speak, not speak with those short form, you're already in the top 20%. So everybody's telling you that you should be focusing on getting jacked, mewing to improve your looks. Yeah, it can be good, but hardly anybody has told you to improve your communication skills. I mean, sure have lah, but it's not as very popular as those people telling you to get shredded and improve your looks. It's an important skill cause, you can increase your social skills, and you also can get opportunities that you don't even know that you can get in school and work. So the story was back in 2016, I was 9 years old, and apparently I was been appointed to speak in front of 250 people at my aunt's wedding. It was just supposed to be like a welcome speech, but at that point of time I was very nervous. And when I make this, I remember till this day, I was facing everyone in the speech. I thought I was giving a speech to in front of maybe 800 people, because to me everyone looks small and a lot. That's why I remember I wanted to finish it as fast as I can, and thank goodness it was just only me welcoming the guests. You can have a look for yourself. And yeah, because I was a very quiet and reserved kid, and for the longest time I've always struggled with dyslexia. I've craved to actually socialize with people, but I just don't speak up about it. And whenever especially I'm hanging out with a big group of people, I wouldn't even want to speak with everybody. So during the post-COVID period, which is like 2023, that's where I discovered about posting content, reading more books, trying to co-approach strangers. And even in the gym and outside, like travel across other countries. And that's why I say I've gotten better with speaking, because I practice all of these. Then when I was 17 years old, which was in 2024, I got the opportunity from my teacher to speak up to 90 people. It was just about my overseas exchange program now. So I was a little bit nervous, but at the end I still do quite well. You can have a look for yourself.
Which gives us a chance to be independent, so that we can actually be prepared for the overseas work in the future.
Now, if most of you guys were appointed to do public speaking, I think most of you guys will probably say, "Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, I'm an introvert. Oh, later I screw up. It'll be damn awkward, yeah." Okay, look, I feel you. So that's why, I'm gonna be using the brain analogy to help you. So let's start. This is the left side. I don't know if you can see, and this is the right side. Still. So the left side is known as the Wernicke area, which is part of the brain, that process what you want to say. And on the right area, is the Broca area, which is the part of the brain that actually sends signal to your mouth, if that makes sense, to what you want to say. Now, whenever I watch shows on YouTube, even those shows that are scripted, I just find those people, who say a lot of times, I just feel like they just say without thinking, and they don't have structure of it. That's why they keep saying and the easiest way on how to fix it, right, which I'll move it to right here, is just pause. Okay, I know most of you guys, when you guys talk to people, right, and then there is like a small awkward moment in between you guys when you guys finish the conversation, right, you guys might probably go and ask them or say something about them just to try to feel like the conversation is just to feel about the conversation itself. And look, you can feel like I know you guys feel like you're forcing yourself to do it, but please don't. That's not how you're going to improve, okay? If let's say you just finished having a conversation with maybe your friends and you guys have nothing to say, after the 3-second rule, right, if you guys don't have anything to say, the best thing is you guys can just end the conversation. Or if you want to, let's say maybe your friend asks you, you and your friend having a deep conversation, and your friend asks you something very deep, right, you don't have to fill in the conversation by answering them immediately. The best way is just to pause. Give yourself 3 seconds by letting them know. At least they don't feel awkward lah. And then this is just from my own experience, okay? Whatever I'm teaching right now is all from my own experience, okay? So, except for this part lah. So, please, if you think I'm not an expert, you don't have to listen to me, okay? The second thing is on how I actually improve my conversation. This is a big game changer. This is one of the biggest game changer is practice talking to camera. Now, that's one of the biggest reasons why I started making content. And it's because, right, for the longest time, I felt like I always struggled with English. I did very bad in school. And generally, right, I've used past tense in present tense situations. That shows how bad it was. So, that's why content creation helped me a lot. It helped me to improve my speaking ability and just pretend like I'm talking to my friends up. So the simplest action you can do, right, is to grab this thing that you're watching my video on, go to the camera button, hit record, and just talk the most random things you have for 30 days. When you do this challenge, right, you're not only forcing your brain, this part of the brain, to process what you want to say, but you're also forcing these two sides to process what you want to think before you say. That's why this challenge actually changed the way how I am thinking about what I want to say before I say. And the third thing, which is the biggest game changer of all time, is read more books. Now I remember when I was in intern, right? I still remember this. I grabbed a book, and one of my interns, right, asked me, "Hey, you read this book? It was a self-help book." He told me, "Hey, you read self-help books, it's like no use if you don't use it." Then I told him that, "Oh, I read this book because I want to improve my English." And he was like, "Oh, okay, that's the conversation. That was it. That's all." So because if you're like me, right, you struggle with dyslexia, right? Actually, reading books actually really helps you a lot because, right, especially when you're reading biography books, right, you are learning how to tell a story and learning how to structure a sentence. That is the biggest game changer, and that's the reason why I would say I'm better than how I was in terms of communication skills. Alright, so I hope you learned something new today, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, my friend. Keep pushing, my friend.